Who is the greatest painter in the Netherlands? Many people would answer that it is Rembrandt. His masterpiece is The Night Watch. The citizens gained versatile power, and art and culture flourished. In the midst of this, one man manipulated light and shadow, attempting to create a masterpiece that would be passed down to posterity. The 17th century in the Netherlands was a time of great economic and cultural prosperity after the War of Independence from Spain. This era is called the Dutch Golden Age, and Rembrandt was one of the painters who was active during this golden period. The year 1642, when the Night Watch was created, was a time when the Netherlands had established its independence and enjoyed peace and prosperity. The civic militia, in addition to its original role of defending the city, also played a role as a symbol of social status and honor. The Night Watch featured 34 people, centering on Captain Frans Banninck and Lieutenant Willem van Ruytenburch. In this work, Rembrandt's signature can be found at the feet of the woman bathed in light, and the figure wearing a beret and peering out from behind a helmeted man standing next to a standard bearer may be Rembrandt himself. Indeed, when compared with his self-portraits from this period, they could be interpreted as the same person. The artist himself quietly appearing in such a large painting is similar to Raphael, who included himself on the right side of the school of Athens. Frans Banninck is depicted confidently stepping forward, issuing instructions to his lieutenant. His dark attire and red sash symbolize authority and power. His sharp gaze and powerful right hand thrust forward demonstrate his confidence and resolve as a leader guiding his company. The captain's hand appears to protrude from the painting, and this hand casts a shadow on the costume worn by Lieutenant Willem van Ruytenburch. This indicates the direction of the light within the painting. Willem van Ruytenburch, dressed in yellow attire, he is depicted attentively listening to the captain's instructions. His white sash symbolizes purity and loyalty. Standard bearer carries the company's flag. He marches forward with a proud expression. The flag symbolizes the unity and identity of the company. The standard bearer's gaze is directed outside of the frame, as if looking ahead to the march. The men with muskets, some shouldering muskets and others handling matchlocks, demonstrate the fighting strength of the civic militia. Each is depicted in a different pose, heightening the tension and sense of immediacy. The enigmatic woman bathed in light is believed to be an allegorical figure, symbolizing the musketeer company. She wears a bird's claw at her waist, alluding to the company's coat of arms, and the model is said to be the painter's wife, the skier. Also, it is the portrait. The impression that it gives as if it were a scene from a stage is not only due to the effect of the strong light depicted by Rembrandt, but Rembrandt's originality that makes the whole screen look like a story. A great unfairness arose in the treatment of the crew members. Some people can hardly see their faces in the back, and others are distributed by the people in the foreground, and some of their faces are hidden. By such a composition, while the scene was activated and the drama was created, many inconveniences also occurred as a portrait. The Night Watch was exactly what symbolized the essence of Rembrandt. Samuel van Hoogstraten, a painter of the Baroque era who lived in the same era as Rembrandt, left a message saying, "After the impression with this painting, many other works depicting the theatrical look like playing cards." This painting was originally larger, but it was cut off in 1715 to pass through the door of Amsterdam City Hall, where it was once housed, and the lost part has not been found. It has been called a Night Watch since the beginning of the 19th century, but this is a misnomer due to the fact that the screen was darkened by many layers of varnish, and it does not depict a night scene at all. The Night Watch was originally painted in a larger size than it is now. However, when it was moved to Amsterdam City Hall in the 18th century, some parts of the painting were cut off because it could not fit on the landing of the stairs. This trimming resulted in the loss of part of the original composition, especially the figure on the left side. If you look at the replica of the night watch created by Gerrit Randens, you may be able to see a little of the original form that remained on the left side at the time. Over the years, discolored varnish and dirt have accumulated on the surface of the night watch. In 1947, a major cleaning was carried out to remove these stains. This restoration work revived the original vivid colors of the painting, but at the same time, it caused the problem of fine cracks in the paint layer. On September 14, 1975, the night watch suffered a shocking incident in which it was slashed with a knife by a mentally unstable man. In 1990, the night watch was attacked again. This time, a man sprayed sulfuric acid on the painting. Fortunately, that acid was blocked by the varnish layer of the painting, and serious damage to the paint layer was avoided. The anatomy lesson of Dr. Nicholas Troop is Rembrandt's innovative first group portrait, commissioned by the Amsterdam Guild of Surgeons. Rembrandt depicted the public anatomy lecture conducted by Dr. Nicholas Troop in his work. In the 17th century Netherlands, anatomy was highly regarded as an essential field for the development of medicine, and public dissections were major events. Rembrandt employed dramatic staging in his work. The centrally positioned reclining corpse creates a strong visual impact, capturing the viewer's gaze. Dr. Troop, with a calm expression, dissects the body while explaining to the surrounding physicians. The skillful contrast of light and shadow highlights the expressions and the gestures of the people, as well as the presence of the corpse, drawing the viewer into the world of the painting. The anatomy textbook in the lower right corner of the screen is likely groundbreaking anatomy book on the structure of the human body, and is thought to symbolize the pursuit of knowledge and the advancement of medicine. The anatomy lesson of Dr. Nicholas Troop was an innovative work that overturned the conventional concept of group portraits. Group portraits up to that point tended to arrange people evenly and suppress individual expressions and personalities. In the 17th century's Netherlands, numerous group portraits of various organizations were painted, but those depicting the civic guards were particularly numerous. This was because although the war had ended and they had finished their military role, belonging to the guard was an honor for citizens. Bartholomeus van der Houst's banquet of the Amsterdam Civic Guard in celebration of the Peace of Munster is a masterpiece of Dutch Golden Age portraiture, an oil painting created in 1648, housed in the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam. This piece depicts a celebratory banquet of the Amsterdam civic militia, commemorating the Treaty of Munster, which ended the 30 Years' War with Spain. The Amsterdam archers are immersed in a festive mood. The reason for this is the signing of the Treaty of Munster, which heralded the end of the war with Spain. The captains of the archer company shake hands with each other as a sign of peace. The poem inscribed on the drum conveys the joy of the Amsterdam military at being able to lay down their arms in the future. Syndics of the Drapers Guild, a later masterpiece and the last group portrait by Rembrandt, depicts the officers of the Amsterdam Drapers Guild. Of these individuals, 5 are officers of the Drapers Guild, and the remaining one, the unhatted figure, is their servant. As a work from the 1660s, it is an exceptionally warm-toned piece. The chiaroscuro characteristic of Rembrandt's work seems to be avoided, and the lights appear to simply enter from the upper left of the canvas. While it's uncertain whether Rembrandt and Rubens had direct contact, it is clear that Rembrandt was aware of Rubens's work. Evidence of this can be seen in The Descent from the Cross, which is considered to be inspired by Rubens's version of the same subject. And the self-portrait at 34 is another self-portrait painted with Rubens in mind. A comparison of the works makes this clear. Rembrandt produced around 70 self-portraits, but this one has the most aristocratic feel among them. Rembrandt and Rubens, each with their unique styles, left a significant mark on 17th century European art. Rembrandt, as a magician of light and shadow, depicted the depths of human emotion, while Rubens created the dazzling world of the Baroque. Rembrandt worked within the Netherlands, focusing on exploring his surrounding environment and human emotions. Rubens, on the other hand, was active in the courts of Europe and even achieved success as a diplomat. These differences in their lives are reflected in their art. Rembrandt's works are realistic, with an emphasis on depicting the depths of human emotion. Rubens's works, in contrast, are idealistic, highly decorative, and depict mythological, historical, and religious themes on a grand scale. There are not many painters who have left behind as many self-portraits as Rembrandt. His life had its ups and downs, but his self-portraits are so revealing that you can see these fluctuations. This is a self-portrait from 1629 when he was 23 years old. Although it is a self-portrait, his hair covers his eyes, making it difficult to see him clearly. He began painting self-portraits around this time. The depiction of his hair is meticulous, showing his attention to detail. It is said that the young Rembrandt, who started his career as a painter in Leiden, used self-portraits to test his own technical proficiency and to assert himself as a painter. This is his only full-body self-portrait, created around the time he moved to Amsterdam. At the time, when there was a growing interest in the East India Company, Rembrandt incorporated Oriental costumes and accessories into his works. X-ray analysis has revealed that the large poodle dog at his feet was added after the works was completed. This period, when he was married to Saskia, was the happiest time for Rembrandt, both publicly and privately. Many of his self-portraits from this time are filled with confidence and have a glamorous atmosphere. Rembrandt drew inspiration from the portraiture of Italian Renaissance and Northern Baroque masters such as Titian and Rubens, establishing his own style. However, he experienced many hardships in the latter half of his life, including Saskia's death, troubles surrounding the Night Watch, and bankruptcy. Due to his bankruptcy in 1656, he lost his house and art collection, falling into financial difficulties. His self-portraits also began to show more shadowed expressions and an introspective atmosphere. Rembrandt created his last self-portrait at the age of 63 in his later years. This work can be interpreted in various ways. Some see it as expressing complete understanding and self-assurance, while others perceive a sense of tragedy and lingering sorrow. What is certain, however, is that his life was marked by difficult events in his later years. His self-portraits are clearly closely linked to the events and emotional shifts in his life. In his early self-portraits, his ambition and desire for recognition as a painter are strongly evident. During his successful period, his self-portraits show a confident expression and elaborate attire. In his final works, we sense a deep insight into old age and death. Rembrandt created various works featuring Saskia as a model during their marriage. These works convey Saskia's charm and Rembrandt's deep affection for her to us across time. Aurora, created in 1634, delicately depicts Saskia's beauty in her wedding attire. It's a disguised portrait portraying Saskia as Flora, the ancient Roman goddess of flowers and spring. Rembrandt created 3 versions of Flora with his wife Saskia as the model. Alongside the Night Watch, The Jewish Bride is considered one of Rembrandt's greatest masterpieces. In 1885, Vincent van Gogh, who visited the newly opened Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, commented on this work, "I would gladly give 10 years of my life if I could sit before this painting for 2 weeks with only a piece of bread to eat. It gives the impression of feeling a strong bond between a man and a woman." And there is probably no other work by Rembrandt that is so secretly painted. The man's right sleeve especially is painted so secretly that it looks like a deep carving casting shadows on the screen. But it also seems to emit light itself. Some researchers suggest Isaac and Rebecca, Genesis chapter 26 in the Old Testament, as the subject of this painting. However, by removing the incidental circumstances essential to the composition of the story and highlighting Isaac and Rebecca, Rembrandt eliminated the clues to identify the subject, which in a sense reduced this work to nothing more than a scene of a man and woman embracing. Their story makes us think deeply about love, loss, and the power of art. Saskia's untimely death cast a large shadow over Rembrandt's life, but it can also be said that it led his art to become even more profound. The moment you see it, you are captivated. The birth of Venus. The goddess gracefully emerging from the sea has continued to fascinate viewers across generations. And then there's Primavera, with its vibrantly blooming flowers and the lively dance of mythological gods. Within it, the art and philosophy of the Renaissance come to life, concealing a grand story behind the splendidly colored backdrop, a deep connection with the Medici family, who supported Florence at the time, and the idealized forms of beauty sought by the people are depicted with delicate brushstrokes. Just how did Botticelli make eternal spring bloom on the canvas? We delve into the mystery of this timeless masterpiece.